people bow to me.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. What's happening?
And we standing right now.
And why shouldn't we stand? Hold on.
Thanks for that knowledge. See, I didn't know that. So that sends a different spin on it.
Ooh, I might house any stranger in my house. It would depend.
Thank you so much, man. You don't know how much I appreciate you doing this for us, brother.
Look at these people. Look at these crazy ass people, bro.
You guys are our future. This is the future.
Thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker is Osiris King.
Go red.
Go red. Chicago red. Good morning, Mayor Brandon Johnson. This is my first time seeing you in person. It's really cool and just not seeing it through the news. My name is Osiris. I'm a young 26-year-old man here in Chicago. And I remember when my elementary school in the area that I live in, the Wadsworth Elementary School, was turned into a migrant shelter. And I remember how Democrats talked to us like we were stupid. You need help. The immigrants need help. Y'all gotta work together. They live in poverty. This is something that you have to accept. And they talked to us like we were 5 years old. But y'all wanna talk about Republicans belittling black people and talking to them like they're stupid? I felt like I was 3 years old, like, okay, like I don't know where Venezuela is on a map. Half of the people who support these migrants probably couldn't point to Venezuela on a map, but a lot of folks are probably wondering, what is this young black kid or a young black man doing wearing this hard hat in City Hall today? Well, let me tell you, growing up, my favorite show was Bob the Builder. He wore a very funny yellow hat. This hat is a symbol of Bob the Builder building the wall, building it tall around America, around Chicago. We don't want illegals in our community. We don't want migrants terrorizing our own people. And to have y'all sit up here and say, we have to accept $70 million being given to them when you got black people who are already struggling and need help, it is a disgrace. It is a disgrace. And this election of Donald Trump represents something that is just more than him winning. This is the end of vote blue no matter who. This is the end of they black, you gotta vote for them. This is the end of Democrats saying lesser than two evils. They did that with Hillary. They did that with Biden. They did that with Kamala. It didn't work this time. People are sick and tired because nowadays you got to get your hands dirty. You got to come down and talk to the people. You got to give a little to get a little. Black people are not falling for the okie doke. A long time ago, y'all would say, black people jump. We say, how high? They say, stoop down. We say, how low? They say, go vote Democrat. We would run faster than Usain Bolt to get to the ballot box. But this is the end. And must I also say, people talk about Mayor Brandon Johnson, but he is just a microcosm of the problem in the Democrat Party. I want to talk to Democrats on a national stage. You got in New York City, Black Lives Matter being very upset, and that's fine, but also be very upset about what's going on in Chicago with these black people being terrorized by the migrants, the illegal immigrants, and no one can say anything about it. It's not fair. So at the end of the day, with the time I got left, I want people to think about who really has the power. Democrats think they have the power. Obama, who was an abomination to this entire nation, thinks he got the power. Hillary Clinton and Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi think they got the power. They think they can bully us and we got to stand silent. But people in America everywhere know that we got the power. And we saw Donald Trump.
Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you very much for your comments.
But Holman also has his eyes on another sanctuary city, declaring Chicago ground zero for the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. And some Chicago residents seem to be ready for change.
We don't want illegals in our community. We don't want migrants terrorizing our own people. And to have y'all sit up here and say, we have to accept $70 million being given to them when you got black people who are already struggling and need help, it is a disgrace.
Tom Homan gave us a window into what to expect. He says come January 21st, there will be ICE agents in Chicago looking for gang members and criminals. If Mayor Brandon Johnson impedes those efforts, he will be prosecuted. How do you think residents in Chicago feel about that?
As Chicagoans, we should be celebrating the season of joy, hope, and love. Yet under our tree, we find neglect, disappointment. We find $575 million of taxpayers' money allocated to migrants. We are disappointed. Our shelters, our schools, our police stations, field houses have all became shelters. And we have went through this thing, and we welcome the borders are to Chicago.
Yeah, and under Mayor Johnson, more than 51,000 migrants have arrived in Chicago since 2022, and the city has actually spent $612 million on the crisis since May 2023. And that appears to be what angers residents the most, because that is taxpayer dollars. Interesting that Tom Homan is going to be meeting with New York City Mayor Eric Adams. I mean, talk about a reach across the aisle moment there. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited, and I'm excited that the mayor decided to sit down with the borders are to fix this crisis. And we look for, Mayor Brandon Johnson to also do the same, to cooperate. If he doesn't cooperate, then the residents are really willing to cooperate, because Mayor Brandon Johnson is known not to cooperate, even with his own residents that accidentally voted him in.
Take a listen to what J.B. Pritzker recently said about Tom Homan and the effort to deport illegal immigrants. Watch this.
I'm open to a dialogue with him. I will say that he does not have the authority to do the things that he's talked about. Being a border czar is not an official position in the government, and will be up to the President of the United States and up to the leaders of the Customs and Border Patrol to make decisions about how we'll manage the border. It looks like it could be a showdown come January. What do you expect?
We as Chicagoans, we deserve fairness, accountability, not burdens. We need solutions. So therefore, we're willing to sit down, and especially, I challenge the border czar, just like I did, Fox when they came to Chicago, took them around to some shelters and things like that. I challenged the border czar to reach out. I stood in a tent overnight. I stopped the bus over at Wadsworth. I went to jail because I understand that, you cannot make illegal legal. You cannot make illegal legal, even though it appears many people in your state of Illinois are trying to do just that. Andre Smith, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day. We appreciate your insight. Thank you.